Alrighty. Let's get down to business again, huh? Hey, Ego Lift. What's going on, man? Naughty gang. How are you, man? What's new with you? Other than being number one. All good in the hood. That's where we like it. Calculations. Is that for your job or? Alright. Let's see what I can do on bench today, eh? Oh man, the pecs are freaking tight. Oof. Alrighty. Today would have been a great day to skip bench. Would have been a great day to skip it. The only reason I'm not is because I had a day off work today. So days off work are very valuable resources. And I gotta make the most of it. Very valuable resource. Wilhelm, what's going on, man? What's the time, Ivan? It is 7 o'clock at night. Jacob, you know what, man? You just lay on it. That is it. Not complicated at all, some would say. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it, man. No, not 30 pounds, man. This is 45. Is that right? Yeah, 45 pounds. Yeah, 20 kilos. Where am I from? I am live from Adelaide in South Australia. Morning, B. What's going on? How much time are you saving? Oh, look, my editing is not anything spectacular, man. Maybe it takes me 5-10 minutes, and that's including the voiceover. Not a lot of time, man. All of my stuff is very straightforward, minimal editing, very raw, as you guys know. So that's pretty much it, man. It's not. And the biggest reason, as I smack my head, the biggest reason for the lives is for the chats, really. You know, it's that's what I enjoy the most about it. It's the chats, it's the hanging out. I find it much more rewarding than pumping out videos. Much more rewarding. Oh, man. Sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe I should drop some of these warm-ups. It's freaking tedious. But every day I get reminded, nope, that is not the right idea. You gotta do the warm-ups. And it allows you to kind of prep the body as well. The lower body, I mean, for the work. Stretch those hip flexors a bit. Yeah, be what it's everything I do is, 99% of it is for the journey, and maybe 1% of it is for the actual YouTube optimization, all the rest of it. That's why when people say that I'm a YouTuber, I'm always like, I don't know if I am. I don't do YouTube for YouTube. I do YouTube for, sharing my passion. That's what I do, man. I don't do it for any other reason. It's not so I can become a YouTuber. It's far from it, man. I do it so I can just share what I love to do, Very simple in my eyes. Execution, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Welcome back to another sesh. I was in two minds whether to skip bench altogether today and just get on with the deadlifts. Last second decision, I decided to do it. My right pec is tight, so I don't know how we're gonna go. The reason for deciding to do it is because I've had a day off work today. So usually on days I try to have the biggest session, and so for the following days that I have, I don't have to do as much on the work days because time limitations and whatever. But anyway, we'll see how we go. I'll try and get set number one and reevaluate and go from there. Who knows what can happen. Zneth, long time viewer, haven't been keeping up to date recently. Are you still aiming for the 300 squat and dead? Yeah, absolutely. That's the aim. That's lifetime goal. You know what I mean? I'm kind of close with the deadlift, but the squat is still far away, man. I gotta work something out with the squat. The deadlift seems to benefit more from my squatting than my squatting. So yeah, 300, 180. So out of all the three lifts, I think the squat is the furthest away from those goals. I'm 155 on the bench. So 25 kilos there, and 15 kilos on the deadlift to get to 300, and a whopping freaking 85 kilos for the squat. Huge. Kron, are you on creatine at the moment, Ivan? 15 grams a day is legit stuff. Nah, not on creatine. Not at all. How much do you sleep on your days off and days on? Oh, dude, that is very, very dependent. On nights, I sleep like 4 hours, 5 hours, that kind of thing. On day shifts, I try to get at least 7, depending on what's going on. But on days off, though, I try and get 10. That's kind of hard, but I try to really kind of make up for lost time. I'm training for 140 bench at the moment, maybe 180 afterwards. Good stuff, dude. 140 is a big, big milestone, man. Huge stuff. Definitely felt amazing when I hit it. I was jumping with joy when I did mine. Execution, I plan to ask about creatine. I recently started taking it again. I think it's one of the rare supplements everyone should be taking. So many benefits. Yeah, I don't dispute that. I don't know. I'm just one of those guys that doesn't believe that, half of the stuff that's out there that we need to be on it. We don't need to be, doing all this stuff that the industry wants us to do. Yeah, sure, creatine does wonderful things, but creatine is also a strain on the kidneys. Whether the research supports it or not, my scientific knowledge tells me that creatine breaks out into creatinine, and creatinine is a blood marker that we look for kidney function. And so, in my mind, if you're taking a stack of creatine and that stuff is going to get converted to creatinine, it's putting a strain on kidneys. Sure. Not a factor if you're drinking a lot of water, if you're drinking, just hydrating yourself perfectly. If you're a prime athlete, everything's in check, cool. But I'm not, and I'm guessing neither are you. And so you also occasionally have a few beers and vodkas and juice and all that stuff, and this is kind of where it gets a little bit tricky. You can't pick and choose things that the professionals do and expect, nothing to happen when you omit a lot of the other stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. You can also do steroids, that's fine. But it's a risky business, and nothing comes without a cost. Whether you want to take that cost or not, it's up to you. I mean, life is as they said in Tokyo Drift, it's a bunch of choices. You make the choice and you don't look back. And at the time, you just hope you make the most informed decision, and then you go from there. In my opinion, and everything that I've learned, being in the industry of nursing medicine, I'd rather not. I don't think it adds that much. And whatever it adds, I don't want it. Like, I just want to live a healthy lifestyle with a passion on lifting on the side, and that's it. If creatine was spilling me over a couple of percent in performance and I can break the world record, and okay, sure, maybe that's this discussion. But for me to go from 155 to 157 on bench, what are we talking about, man? Like, I am just a regular dude in a garage, and I don't see the point, honestly. Put these down a little bit, maybe a tad. In France, it's dosage. There you go. There's a big discrepancy there in dosages, isn't it? Oh yeah, I mean, if you do everything else that professional athletes do, then maybe it's all good. E36, what's going on, man? Nice, good stuff, man. Bench galores, huh? You don't eat meat, eat fish every other day, so my baseline creatine is probably low. Well, this is the thing, like, they're saying that even meat eaters don't get enough creatine. Really? So nobody in the history of humankind ever had enough creatine, and yet we've just been fine. Interesting. I love when they come up with this random shit. I don't really care who comes up with it and which organization or association comes up with these rules, but really. So not even somebody eating steak every day has enough creatine in the system. Interesting. So no human being on the planet has enough creatine. So we're all deficient in creatine. Interesting. And we've all been fine. So are 8 billion people wrong, or are they wrong? I don't know. That's up for discussion, isn't it? It's just, I think soon they're going to come up with a rule that says, oh, we're not breathing enough oxygen. You know, all this time, for the last hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years, humans have been deficient in oxygen. You know, we have to buy this product which makes more oxygen available in our homes. Shit, man, where's my credit card? You know, that kind of shit just drives me crazy. John, how much creatine? I don't take any creatine, man. Most of the time training, I haven't been on it, but it for sure does help a lot if you take around 10 grams a day or a bit more. It just makes training more fun and it's cheap. Yeah, trans, man, you're very, very close to getting shafted. This is not the community for that kind of stuff, man. Just chill or move on. Yeah. We need a moderator. All right, bro. That's it. Catch you, man. Do I ever train with music? Nah, not at home. You know, occasionally over the last couple of years, you know, on a lovely day, Eric style. No, I can't do that to my neighbors, man. Like, I can't do it. I don't, that's not me. I'm always mindful of other people. You know, occasionally on a lovely day, on like a Sunday or something like that, I've been known to put some music on for the kids to run around and have enjoyed the day and open the garage and kind of, you know, make a bit more fun out of it. But for the most part, I'm training either early hours or late night, and it's just not for me. 70 kilos, good, man. That's it. Keep it up. All right, let me try and get this freaking first set. Let's see what happens here. Let's see how I do. Oh God. Geez, wasn't too bad. Got it. Oh, fuck. Geez, my freaking eyeballs started sweating there. Eyeball sweat. Yeah. Oh man. Oh. Darren, what's going on, man? be starting a career in healthcare as a support worker. Do I have any advice? Oh man, no, good on you, first of all. Everyone that's in healthcare, you know, I respect. It's not easy work, but it's rewarding work. And I'm glad I'm a nurse, you know. You look back and you think to yourself, you know, I could have done this, that, whatever. Hindsight, but I think when everything's said and done, like I still feel like it's a good path, you know. Way more positives than negatives. And you feel good, man. Like, you know, when you get deep and meaningful about life in general, and you think about morality and ethics and all the rest of it, I think it's a pretty good feeling to know that you're a nurse. You know, it's not just about, you know, your accumulation of wealth and your individualistic ideas. You know, I've known people that are, let's say, in selfish careers, let's say, and then they miss the, you know, the charity virtue, you know, so they kind of go and do things to kind of fulfill that need. I think when you do nursing, you can kind of knock off a lot of this stuff. There is a sense of charity, you know, there is a sense of like helping people, kind of makes you feel good inside. And also you earn a career, you earn a pretty good living. You know, in Australia right now, it's terrible. You know, the housing prices and expense of living is through the roof. I saw some table the other day that Sydney is the worst in all of the world, and Adelaide's not too far behind. So we're terribly underpaid right now for the expenses of the world, but still, we're not homeless. We're comfortable, you know, all the rest of it. So I think it's a pretty good idea to get into. The only way to get stronger is to get more sleep. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I've achieved, to be honest, man. More sleep is always better, but let's see what happens. What do you think about the protests? I don't really know much about the protests other than that they are there and protesting. I don't understand what was the trigger, what was the pivoting factor. I know the response of the government and whatnot, but I don't know much about the topic at all. I don't really know what's going on. I know people are pissed, but I don't know exactly why. What's on the agenda today? Bench press and how goes the dead stop deadlift? Well, today is going to be the dead stop deadlift, man. I've been taking 2 days off in between. I've been kind of waiting on days off to do the deadlifts because they're quite a lot of work, and the sessions end up being bloody 2 hours. But today what I was thinking is, yeah, I'm swapping and changing all the time. Today I've been thinking about going up in weight and down in reps. I do not remember a time where I did sets of deadlifts. And it occurred to me last time, I was like, man, I've never done sets of deadlifts ever. It's always been squats. And a deadlift has always been a single and then run away, do rows, pull-ups, whatever. And so I spent more time thinking. And then last night I watched Dan Green on the Tabletop podcast with Dave Tate. It was like an hour and a half chat. And that kind of really triggered me in the sense of thinking about deadlifts, dead stop deadlifts, and then volume. And I thought, you know, there was some really thought-provoking stuff on there. You know, Dan Green, which is a very well-respected lifter, you know, been around forever. And he was like, absolutely, bench press, 90% of bench press is bodybuilding, which I thought was really funny because he was like, it's all about volume and volume and volume. Just get reps. Squats, he said it was 50-50. So 50% powerlifting, you know, 3x3, that kind of thing. And then 50% is bodybuilding. Similar kind of stuff, just, you know, get size. But for the deadlifts, he was like, it's a lot of technique. It's a lot of positioning, you know, addressing certain weaknesses. It's not so much that the bulkiest guy lifts the most weight. You know, for the most part, it's technique. And I thought, you know, hat off to him saying, you know, the whole bench press is high reps. It's kind of what I got out of it. But it was also that the deadlifts might not respond the best. And that's been my experience. I started off with 30s this block. And yeah, man, heart and lungs are just screaming, dying. And feels a lot better with 10s. And then I thought today, man, I don't know why, but I thought about 180 kilos. And I thought about doing sets of 5, like 5 sets of 5 with it, which I've not done for years. I might have never done it during this whatever day period, the 5 years at all. So I'm thinking today of doing 5 sets of 5 with 180 on the dead. Dead stop. Might be too much, but I'm gonna slowly load the bar up and just assess how it goes. 180 for me has never been, or hasn't been heavy for a long time. So it might be heavy enough. I know 200 kilos I've done for a set of 10 as an AMRAP a couple of years ago. So this is easily, oh God, easily like 5, 7 reps in reserve. So, all right. Let's do another set here, eh? Oh, you remember that set? Yeah, it was at the gym. Do you remember that? I remember it. Yeah, it was just out of the blue. I was like, you know what? I'm going to rep this out. And I remember the burn. The burn was unreal. Felt good, man, I must say. Oh, alrighty. Oh, man. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate it, man. Pushing to brand new heights, but pushing myself to 101, getting my 10th reps on every increase weight. Over time, it's starting to be very taxing mentally. Well, you can't be pushing, Greg. You can't be pushing that hard all the time, man. It's impossible. Pablo, you don't think there's a psychological stress to constantly lifting heavy weights? Psychological, well, I mean, for me, it's a psychological de-stress. You gotta release the stress sometimes, man. For me, it's just euphoria, to be honest. I think for the most part, exercise is a de-stress. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know how I went from feeling crappy, not ready for this, to feeling 2 good sets. Maybe the third's going to be a struggle, who knows. Oh, definitely. Ethan, man. I'm putting on quite a lot of size, man. You know, think about it, like I've been doing for the most part of the journey, you know, very low reps. So I think my body's been hanging in for this, man. Yeah. I mean, as you know, I'm doing a lot of reps for bench. Forearms are feeling, lats I felt like feeling traps, and obviously chest. It's just I feel thicker, you know. I feel this thickness, this girthiness about me now. Even my fingers I feel like are getting thicker. I thought about it the other day. I'm like, is this fluid from all the pressure in my hands? Like, what is this? Why are my fingers getting fatter? You know, it's like, I don't know. My hands are starting to kind of change as well, which is interesting. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I feel solid, man. I feel quite solid. That's why for my first stop set, I stick to 5 reps no matter what. How many reps in reserve? When it comes to really easy, I know it's time to step up the weight. Yeah, reps in the reserve is my preferred approach for sure. May, thank you. I'm not Anatoly. I know it's not possible forever, but I've made much progress on all my lifts, but I think the mental toll is starting to force me to change to 10 to sets of 5. But dude, I don't think it's the bloody reps, man. I think it's your exertion. I mean, if you think about it, you could absolutely get smoked with sets of 3 when you're taking it to 0 reps in reserve as well. The reps are not what it is. It's your exertion. It's your RPE, you know. So if you go down to 5 reps and you still are freaking dying on the weights, what have you changed? Nothing, man. You're just dying with heavier weights. So you gotta change more than just that. Abdul, have you been gaining weight? Yeah, I have. I'm 104, 105 kilos now. Becoming an ogre. Orc, that's it. As we give these 20 rep sets a go, only managed to do 80 kilos for a few sets, but man, I'm wider and thicker. There you go, Ethan. Good stuff, man. I have no doubt that, at least in the bench press realm, this type of work will pay off. Squats and deadlifts, so far I've kind of failed on those to translate. Hence why I'm changing the squats and deads quite often, but bench press, I don't know how long it's been now, man, but probably, shit, without looking at the thing, it's probably pushing 4 months of this. Probably 4 months. It's been a long time. Like I started off with an empty freaking bar for sets. And then obviously that first session was also 60 kilos. But I started off really, really wide, like really wide, uncomfortably wide. And I've gained quite a lot of progress on that. So I've taken my wide, 1 rep max from God knows where to this. It's incredible. It's now become my main thing. So I've literally taken my weakness and made it my strength, which in my books I'm very, very happy about. Getting ready for my workout before work. Gewelf, 1, good job. Get that. Nice execution. I've never trained reps in reserve. I also take all my single sets per compound lift. Failure using... Damn, Greg. You're going to failure on everything. That's that style of training. Look, man, don't let anybody tell you anything. If you're improving and you're happy, don't worry about a thing, man. You just keep doing it. This is the thing about all of this, is that we all have different experiences. And that's fine. Absolutely fine. Man, my arms are dead. A few more minutes and I'll hopefully hit another set. Hey Vaughn, Cause, what's up, man? Neurosurgical ICU, 11th hour of 12. Squats after work. Respect, man. Well done. Straight after ICU to squats. Love it. Good stuff, man. Greg, but you are starting to make me consider something new with reps and reserve type training. If you've never tried it, I think it will be something of interest to you, I think. Because you'll be able to get a lot of volume. You know, and obviously there is a balancing act on a graph. If you were to graph all of this, the relationship between volume and intensity, you know, doing 10 sets in reserve or whatever, 20 sets in reserve on weights and doing 100 freaking sets is probably still not going to beat one set to absolute failure. But there is a tipping point somewhere. You know, if you leave 3-4 sets, reps in reserve on sets and you're able to get 3 or 4 more working sets, I think there's a discussion to be had there, you know. From what I remember reading Squat Every Day by Matt Perryman. He made it very, very clear to me. This was like very early on in my lifting career that I learned this. Your neurological or your nervous stress is far more taxing than physiological stress on the body. So this is why I like calm lifting, especially with the high frequency. That's kind of what the prescription is. Don't get too excited. Don't get roused. For smelling salts, all that is very, very bad because it affects your recovery curves so much. You'd rather lift a weight that's 10% lighter and come back and hit it 2 or 3 days earlier than the guy who's going nuts and then taking an extended period of time off. That's kind of what I learned from early on. And so even my PRs, for the most part, are kind of calm because I'm always thinking about tomorrow. I don't want to overshoot in some way. Stacy, hello Stacy. Duncan, man, what's happening, brother? Would highly recommend the latest table talk with Dan Green if you get the... Oh, I've seen it. I was just telling the guys before. I finished it last night. Actually, this morning I finished off the last 15-20 minutes. It says they're in line with your current training philosophy, building muscles to get stronger. Absolutely, Duncan. You know, I was telling the boys earlier, as I was listening to him, I was like nodding my head and smiles, especially when he was talking about the bench press being 90% bodybuilding. It was like, yeah, Dan Green, man, I'm kind of doing what you're saying here. Felt quite good to listen to that. Ethan, also the difference is how many joints feel with 20 rep sets as opposed to a 5 rep set with heavy weight. Night to day, so much less inflammation in my body. Oh man, I can subscribe to that, man. Literally my whole body feels good. I'm getting thicker, stronger. Joints are happy. Everything feels good. So I'm happy. At least for the bodybuilding side of it, awesome. Even for the squat side of it, I'm not going to go back on that. The squats felt freaking amazing. Nothing hurt. The progress is lacking with the high reps. I didn't feel like I got anywhere with it, but I felt healthy, so there's something there. So definitely high reps make you feel better. All right, let's get the third set here. Try and knock out another 23. Hey, that was good. That was really good. Oh, Lord. Oh, felt good. Knocked out 3 sets. Happy with that. And now the tightness is settling in, which tells me no fourth. I'll quickly now run up with front squats, because I suspect my deadlifts are going to really tax me out now. So I'm not going to mess around with doing front squats after deadlifts. I'm going to try to load deadlifts to 180. Sets of 5. I really want to feel how that feels. Like I said earlier, to the fellas that were here, I don't remember doing ever for a long time. I've done it before, obviously, but for years, I haven't done reps in deadlifts. So let me drop it to 5s and get some work in with dead stop deadlifts. Oh man. I always feel like the cameras are freaking leaning to the side, always. All right, let's do some fronts now. I think it was you, Duncan, asked me yesterday or the day before. You crossed my mind. You said, what is the best exercise kind of accessory for front squats? And yesterday I woke up and I was feeling kind of like soreness in my hip flexors, which I know 100% is front squats. So for a long, long time, Duncan, I spent training hip flexors thinking that was causing my hip pain. And so maybe all of that craziness that I did with hip flexors, and I've done many videos on that if you search them, so many different ideas tested and retested on hip flexors, thrashed them, and maybe that's how I got to my front squat strength, the 185. A lot of freaking hip flexor work. I mean, a few days of front squatting in a row, I've got soreness in my hip flexors, which might be something that you might be missing. I don't know if you train hip flexors at all. Oh man, the wrist freaking killed off the bench. Thank you, Ethan. Consider doing these high reps for rows, face pulls for upper back. Face pulls, not so much. I'm not a big believer on face pulls, man. I think it's just all kind of fluffy, and it would be great for a warm-up, like lateral raises. But in terms of progressing, there's very little room for progression with face pulls. But rows, I'm sold. Rows, absolutely. Am I going to do them right now? Probably not, because I'm so busy doing the other stuff, but I'm a big believer of rows, man. Let me tell you. All right. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. I want to hit my microphone bloody when I front rack this. I'll squash it. All right, 90 kilos. All right. This is 110. Yesterday I got 150 and it felt freaking heavy as, man. Yeah, man, rows. Ivan, did you ever go through a phase of having loads of caffeine, pre-workout, coffees, etc.? I'm in a phase now, not sure if it's benefiting me or not. Ethan, I am a anti-caffeine, anti-stimulant man, as you kind of probably worked out from the stuff that I've said in the past about creatine and protein powders and all the rest of it. You know, early on in my nursing career, I thought that was going to be my savior at nights and, you know, shift work in general, down in coffees here and there to save me. And I've kind of always been off-putting till I hit a crisis. And I've had a coffee there and whatever, once or twice in my first couple of years of nursing, but then I kind of learned that I didn't need to. And when I started training, I realized that I love training. I loved it a lot. Even before squatting every day, I was basically training most days. I loved it. I loved fooling around in the garage and training with all sorts. And I realized that caffeine added another curve to the graph, which was hard to predict. You know, it stimulates you, it masks how you truly feel and your fatigue levels, and then you kind of can't gauge on what to do in training sessions because there's a masking effect of caffeine. And so then you might do too much in a training session where you shouldn't be doing too much at all. You should be doing very little. And so I'd just rather not have that variable involved in all of this. I just want to feel what I feel and feel it for what it truly is. If I'm freaking exhausted, nice. I'm not going to be training a lot today. If I'm feeling fresh as, then let me get after it. And so I don't understand the role of caffeine. And I think, I'll tell you something else, man. I was saying this to people at work the other day. I think in like 20, 30, 40 years' time, there's going to be huge research that comes out. This is just me conspiring, you know. That's going to come out to say that the reason why our generation is experiencing huge neurodegenerative diseases like, you know, dementia, Alzheimer's, all the rest of it, is because of our huge consumption of coffee. I don't think ever in history have humans consumed so much caffeine, so much coffee. Sure, some of it is good. But man, people are drinking 4 or 5 coffees a day, man. And I'm like, you are frying your nervous system. You know, in all of my time in the resus rooms and in ED, I've spoken to many doctors, you know, early presentations of neurodegenerative, you know, diseases and people who have had bipolars and schizophrenias and whatever, and they've been on hard, you know, drugs, lithiums, clozapines, things of that nature. If you see the side effects and you see these people 30, 40, 50 years down the track, their nervous system is fried. And the synaptic clefts have been so abused over the years from some of these agents that they take that it numbs them and they become slow. They become essentially somebody that resembles dementia, Alzheimer's. And I have a feeling that all these coffees that we're smashing every day and just living life on adrenaline all the time is going to have a similar effect to this generation. I really think that that's something that's going to happen. Not to say, not to scare you that the coffee you're drinking right now is killing you, but there are people out there who are literally drinking coffee 3, 4, 5 times a day. And like, what are you doing? It's like a drug, like any other thing. You know, anything can be a drug. Like, you know what they say? The poison is in the dose. And I think people are dosing the shit way too much. Anyway, that's just my personal belief, what I think it is. I might be completely off center, but I'm just observing people going crazy over coffee. Yeah. I think I just did the same weight. Oh no, we're good. Let's try 130 now. God, front squats feel freaking amazing. I remember a time where I was really good at them. Now I feel so not ready for them. Yeah, some people have developed a crazy tolerance. Yeah. The Be Cool guy. What's up, man? Howdy. Today's graduation day for our high school students. Oh, awesome, man. That's amazing for them. Big day for them. Congrats to all of them. Good evening, Van Danish. Has some of the world's best coffee, and I 100% agree that he does because I've lived there and had coffee there and it is so good. Yeah, I'll tell you something, man. When people are having coffee around me, I love the smell of coffee, man. You know, I love the smell of coffee. It's awesome. It doesn't taste the greatest. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't mind drinking it in terms of taste, but yeah. Let me hit this 130, see what's up. I'm really kind of anxious to start this deadlifting. I want to see how it feels to hit 180. I mean, 180 is freaking 100 kilos off my max, so it should be freaking easy to hit fives. Should be really easy. But dead stop might be different. I don't know. I'm really keen to try it. All right, 130. Beautiful. Anthony, what's up, man? Had a major breakthrough in the field of the back squat yesterday. For the first time, my whole leg felt engaged in the concentric push back up. This follows a of goblet squats. Goblet squats. I haven't done too much of those in the past, man. But like front squats, anything in front of me feels a shit ton better, man. It feels so much better than having weight behind me. Having weight behind me, it literally feels like a screw job for me. It feels like that is not where I want the weight to be. So much nicer at the front. And it's safer. I don't know. It feels so safe to have it at the front. Because I'm so front loaded always on my toes that if things go bad, I just drop it. There's nothing else to it. And for the most part, if I can control the down part of the lift, I can get back up. Yeah, goblets are good, man. All right, let me hit this 150, then we'll unrack. We'll unrack it, and then we'll do 185s on deadlift. And try to be quiet with it. That's the other thing. It is 8 o'clock at night here. I don't want to wake up the suburb. So I'll use these bumpers. And I reckon I'll use the blues as well. One pair of them and then the 10s. They'll make 180. Yeah. I'm keen for it. And 5 reps is so little. It's the high reps that scares me the most. This business of like doing singles, fucking, it's nothing, man. It's uncomfortable for such a short period of time. Let me put this thing down. That's better. Do you want to knock it off? Alrighty. Let's get the main meal of the day going. Let me just do one single here, just to feel the weight a bit. Alrighty. Well, let me have a sit down here before this 160. Patrick, oh yeah, absolutely. Most training sessions are 1+ hours. Nowadays, you know, when I first started, I remember I used to have sessions of like 15, 20 minutes. But most days now, it's more than an hour. You know, back then, man, I used to just come in, run through the weights, and then that's it. But now I'm like, nah, man, the warm-up every day is like 40 minutes. The warm-up is 40 minutes, and I'm not going on without that, man. And so, for bench press, I did 5 sets of 30 lateral raises, 5 sets of 20 on the barbell, just empty barbell, another 20 repper on 60 kilos, and then 3 sets of 23 on 100 kilo bench. So I did 5, 6, 11, 12, 15 sets. 15 sets just to finish the bench portion of it. Like you, who has literally trained every single day for 5 years, most of training would not be optimal. Yeah, well, this is the thing, dude. Like, Mike Mentz's stuff makes sense if you're training like twice a week. Come in, fucking bounce off the walls, go nuts, and then disappear. Days on at a time. Fine. What goes up must come down. If you throw a ball really, really high up into the sky, it's going to take a while to drop back down. If you throw it up a little bit, it'll come back quickly. Pick your poison. Are you throwing the ball up really, really high? That's fine. That's your training session. But then the come down, the recovery is going to be long as well. It's just yin and the yang. That's all it comes down to, dude. If you go super, super hard, you're going to recover super, super hard as well. Oh, all right. So let me now try and double overhand grip this thing. This barbell is the Olympic barbell, so it's going to be super impossible, but I'll freaking give it a try. Who gives a shit? This is not going to work. I can do 180 with a proper grippy bar. Oh, there you go, 160. Fucking hell. All right. All right, mate. All right. Settle down. Settle down, mate. Didn't think I was going to do that. That's a beautiful looking barbell right now, isn't it? Lots of colours. Lots of bloody colours. Oh, fucking get in there. All right. Beautiful looking barbell, eh? Let me set you guys back so you see what's up. That's a good looking barbell. Lots of colours. Look at that. Bloody beautiful, mate. All right. Put this chair here so I don't have to move the camera much. What is your goal deadlift double overhand and what is it currently? I have done 180 double overhand no hook in the gym with a deadlift bar. That thing is incredible knurling. Not a lot of the spin. Felt freaking amazing. Could have probably done 190 to be honest with you, but it was just part of my routine back in December to jump like, you know, 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, 4 plate, 5 plate, and then halves. So 180. Pretty good. Danish, nice. Yeah, well, it just came to me, the whole ball analogy. It's kind of like that. What comes up must come down. Same length of time. Eggnog, man. Just been feeling shit, man. I am detailer. I hit the gym at 5 a.m. before work, but I don't know, it just seems like I'm plateauing. I don't know. I just never feel good in the gym anymore. Hey man, don't think that is unusual. Don't think you're the only one that feels like the plateaus. Don't listen to these really successful fitness enthusiasts, influencers. All they're really trying to do is get you to buy their shit. So they make you feel like plateauing is terrible. So you buy shit. So you buy these programs. Dude, plateauing is what the whole thing is about. Is just can you suffer the anguish of not improving? That's, dude, you're gonna have to not win every day. Just rock up, do the work, no matter what. You know, do the work. And let you know, be religious, but let God take care of the rest. Some things just need time, and eventually, if you water it enough, you will see progress. Don't expect progress to be when you think it's going to be. Keep working. Even on the days where you're not going to have anything go your way, you're probably subconsciously learning something about what you're doing, and that is a valuable piece of information that you might employ later on. Connect a few dots in your mind and then break through. Even if things are not going well, you're still doing something. So just do it. Don't let it stop you. Dude, I've plateaued for most of my journey. And yet I'm still up to 285 on the deadlift and 155 bench and freaking 215 squat. You just keep rocking up, man. That's all it is. All right, let me see this 180 for 5. 120, 40, 60, 70, 80. All right, I'm keen for this. Hopefully I maintain good positions for good, clean 5 reps. That would make me happy. Happy as Larry. Oh God, what have I done here? I've completely covered this up. No good. No good, mate. Oh God, microphones. Gotta think about microphones in my setup as well now. Alrighty. Feel some heavy weight in my hand. Honestly, that feels easier than the 120 for 10. Just not a lot of huffing and puffing. I'm so used to heavy weights, man. That's why I progress better on high reps. That felt pretty good. Leg press that bar. Man, spot on, man. Really is. That felt good. Felt really, really at home. Danish. Kind of feels like that. Another 20 will probably be good. Maybe next session. I had one area in my mind. I really want to see how I go with 5 sets of these. And then I'll make the assessment. Maybe I'm being a bit too confident. Maybe the second set is going to be tough. Who knows? Thanks, Lemon. That felt good. Gotta say. Oh, the lower back is good, man. I don't have trouble with lower back at all. When I do the 5 sets of 10 with 120, as the sets go on, my lower back starts to get really pumped. So, yeah. Lower back never hurts, but it does get pumped, that's for sure. Damn, bro, and then you go do a shift after this. Yeah, man. Gotta work, man. Gotta feed these kiddies. Lots of mouths to feed, as they say. Gotta go do the work. You want to progress pause deadlifts with weight or more reps at 100. Well, these are not pause deadlifts. They are what they're called. They are dead stop deadlifts. Pause deadlift is when you pause it like off the ground at some point. We're back to 2019 with this one. That's right. Yeah. Maybe that's the last time I did sets of deadlifts like this, 5 sets. Yeah. All right, I don't feel like I need a lot of rest with this. Let's just get on with this. This is not very heavy at all. Much less breaks than with the bloody bench press, that's for sure. Some of those bench press sets are like 10 minutes. This though, this shit feels good, man. Freaking, I'm 100 kilos off my max. Freaking better feel good. Let me try and use a bit more power with these now. Instead of bleeding it off the ground, let me try and pop it. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Danish. Oh, Danish, you're too nice to me, man. Thank you. I'm just a regular guy. Like you and everyone else. Nothing special, man. We just work. Oh, 2025, party. Is it next Wednesday? There you go. Greg, half my body weight for 20 reps for the reverse squat. I have a chronically weak hip flexors. Yeah, man, hip flexors. I've been down that rabbit hole, man. Don't you worry about that. Not just once, but freaking many times. Yeah. Hip flexors are important. Do you train them directly or not? Well, I haven't for some time. For a very long time, actually. In the last year, I've had quite a lot of success with squats, deadlifts. So how critical are they? Do you need to isolate them? My gut feeling now is to say no, you don't need to. But I feel like if you do not do compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench press, less so bench press, but these axially loaded movements, then I feel like you probably need to do something for your hip flexors, because the hip flexors really tie the upper body to the lower body. And if you don't do anything, compound, big barbell movements, then I think you're missing that tie-in. If you think about it, what's connecting us, those legs to the torso? Like, what are the muscles that connect us? The hip flexors are the only flexors of that junction. Everything else is a puller. Glutes, adductors, hamstrings, they're pulling. What's pulling the torso? What's the pulling portion? Sorry, what's the pulling? The flexor portion, rather, is the word I'm looking for. The only flexors of our connection between upper and lower is the hip flexors. And there's not a lot of them. Iliacus, psoas, rectus femoris, tensor fascia lata. What else? Not too many other things, man. Maybe some like smaller muscles which I'm missing, but those are kind of the big dogs. There's a lot going on the back of you, not a lot in front of you. Abdul says, felt the psoas muscle messing with me recently and it reminded me of your old videos. Oh, dude, you remember those old videos? Fuck, man, I really went deep with it. Like, remember this shit? I used to put this crap. How did I used to do it? Like this. Like this, I think. Oh, fuck, that shit feels good. That feels good, man. Fuck. Man, I was onto something back then, man, All these, oh, yeah. Shit, that feels good. Oh, yeah. That actually feels pretty good, man. Back then I was like, okay, the short range of motion hip flexor movement, that's what this was. And the long one is the standing version of that, Oh, man, good times. I would say you should isolate them purely because squats and deadlifts do not directly train the primary function of the hip flexors, which is to bring the knee to the chest against load. Greg, I reckon they do stabilize. They are the antagonist. So don't think only the agonists work in movements. The antagonist has a really important role as well. And a lot of times they limit the agonist on the opposite side of the joint. So I would argue that squats and deadlifts do in fact work really hard. Now they do not act as an agonist like what you're saying, but they are working, and they probably do, you know, hypertrophy a lot. If you think about it, muscles get more muscle damage in the eccentric portion of movement, not in the concentric. So there's a lot there to unpack, isn't there? Connor T, hi Van, I've been watching for years, not seen your channel in a while, just stumbled across this live. Glad to see you still going, man. Love it, brother. Appreciate you, Connor. Good to see you stop by, man. Yeah, I'm doing a whole stack of lives nowadays. A lot more enjoyable for me, chilling out with the fellas and one or two ladies, I suppose. But yeah, it's a lot more enjoyable for me, and I'm imagining it's more enjoyable for you guys as well, that we can just chill here. First time seeing your live stream, mate. Love the content. Was just wondering how wide your grip is for benching. Index on the ring right now. That's just my wide variation that I've been doing and have done for the last 4 months. Started off as a weakness training and turned into a strength. So now I've set a PR of 155 with the wide, and so officially now I'm stronger in my wide. So yeah, I'm doing a wide and I'm feeling amazing doing it. So have I tried the belt squat? My man, the guys from Bells of Steel hooked me up right there. Can you see that? Belt squat machine. I've got the bloody thing. And when I got it, you betcha I did a lot of sets with it. Let me hit another set of this, eh? Another fiver. All right, let me try and explode these. I feel like I could have done a lot more weight today, but screw it. Sets of 5 we'll do with 180. Next session will be 200. I'm trying to use more power than it needs. Those 3 sets. Stevan in Serbia. Stevan, give me a sec, man. Catch my breath a bit. I'll get to your question. That was 3 sets. Not bad. Stevane, where are you? How's the CNS recovery now with high reps versus when you're always trying to 1 RM? I like my thighs, but I feel like my CNS is always cooked. Yeah, no. High reps is a lot easier on the nervous system, that's for sure, dude. Doesn't even come close to it. The only trouble with high reps is the breathing. I'm not doing high reps here. Don't think I'm complaining about this. But when you're doing sets of 30, dude, like on the squat, holy shit, dude, you're like breathing like this for 5 minutes, huffing and puffing, not able to settle down. So that part of it is tough. You literally feel like you're out playing basketball or soccer, breathing so much, but it's good. It's good. Like everything feels nice. Everything feels nice. There's no pains at all. It's the first time in many years that I actually feel holistically healthy. Freaking nothing hurts, man. And like I can't emphasize how important that is, man. Dude, I've spent so much of my freaking time training in pain. Not pain. Pain is probably like the very, very, very strong word, incorrect word. Maybe the right term is like not right. Not right. Like hip is I feel it. I can work, but I feel it. You know, the freaking elbow here with the bench press. Fucking hell, man. Do you guys remember, you know, when I was benching close grip, high volume, when I was pushing it, when I got to 152, literally, fellas, like I used to, this was in my lounge room. And I've got a heavier version of this. It's like a longer handle, bigger hammer. I fucking sit there, you know, in front of the TV doing this shit. Or I don't know if you can see this. I'll put it up. So hold it like this and like this. You know, that's the supination. Supination. Fuck. Even now it feels amazing. I'd spend an hour fucking, you know, around the session in the bench, in supersetting it just to stay healthy to do the bench. Rehab work used to take more than half of the training session. You know, and then finally you work things out. Okay, if I go wider on the bench press, long-term discovery, my elbow doesn't hurt. Well, fuck the narrow shit, man. Go wide. Fucking doing like 3 sets of 20, 10 sets of 20, like most days, you know, the last few weeks. Now I'm up to 3 sets of 23 on the bench press. Dude, my elbow doesn't hurt at all. So when I say to you, like, nothing hurts, like I'm saying that with such pleasure to say to you that nothing hurts. If you spend any amount of time in training, like, you know, fucking hell, man, things always hurt. So when you get into a point like this, it feels amazing. Instability, rightness. Yeah. Yep. I'll go with that. All right, let me hit set number 4 here. And this time I'm going to try and take a bit more slack out of the bar. I feel like I'm yanking the bar. Let it rest, and then set up like I would usually set up for the bar. None of this clackety. Put tension in the bar and then pull. And then dead stop. Alrighty. Set number 4, eh? All right, that's 4. Not bad. Feeling my lats, traps, hamstrings right now. What's going on, man? I've never injured my back since learning how to lift. The reason why I got into strength training is because of a low back injury. To take you back many years ago, I was 2021, something like that. I wasn't even squatting or deadlifting at that point at all. I was the gym bro, you know, just the machines. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I was doing a preacher curl, you know, the preacher curl machine, you know, this business. I was sitting on it backwards. Had a dumbbell in my hand, I was doing these. So I'm doing it. Finish the set, put it on my shoulder, change hands, Instead of going to my knee, I went straight down to the floor to drop it. And then that's what I heard in my lower back. Collapsed to the floor, lots of pain, numbness down both legs. My breath was taken. Nobody in the gym. There was some person on the far end of the other side of the gym on the treadmill. And I thought, fuck, this is it, man. Your life is not going to be the same after this. Obviously, panic settled in. I was in tears, I remember. I was 2021. I was like in agony, and I'm thinking, but I was more scared of what the fuck was going to happen, you know. This is before nursing. This is like, yeah, so 19, 20. In that moment, I was like, please, God, if you let me get away with this, I'm not going to ever train my body in such a way that I don't have my lower back solidified and absolutely 100%. I will always train what's right. Your core, your strength, your lower back is everything. And in that crazy mindset of 15, 20 minutes sitting on the floor, I thought to myself, this is literally what I thought. You know what? I know why I injured my back. It's because my freaking abs are pieces of shit. So weak. And I thought, okay, how the hell do I get out of this position, get in the car, and get home with a manual car? So I thought, let me fire up my anterior core while I'm here. This was like 20 minutes after being on the floor. And I just put my hands, actually no, it wasn't up here. I put my hands on my chest and I just started slowly doing crunches. Slowly, just to activate the front core, to get it pumped up so I can get up and piss off and go home. So I can, you know, help activate the core. And so I started with a few reps, it starts to burn. And I'm like, yeah, more. And I'm doing these reps. And it's fucking on fire. And I'm like, oh, like I'm going all out, like pushing. It was all just one set. Went absolutely bonkers with it. I reckon I did a few more sets after that, but like 2 1 RM, you know, that type of thing. Whatever, I was on the floor for 10, 15 minutes more of doing that. I got up off the floor slowly, like slow motion. Get up, got my stuff, get out of the gym, sit in the car, all tight. I'm all tight and, you know, go home, sit down, gingerly walking around the house. My parents are like, what the fuck have you done? You know, my mum's always been like, she doesn't watch my videos. She doesn't like me lifting all this stuff. She's like, you're going to go back to that day when you injured your back. She doesn't understand, you know, what I'm doing here. And the following morning I woke up. I was tight, but there was no pain. The next day, better. The next day, better. And then within like a couple of days, I was back to normal. And I think around that time, I was like, went on YouTube, went on Google, started researching. Discovered Mark Ripperto soon after that, bought Practical Programming, bought Starting Strength, bought all those books, bought a few other texts, and I started reading and getting exposed to some of the other parts of YouTube, other parts of fitness, of strength training, and started getting exposure, you know, of how do I actually get stronger. And around this time, I think soon after that, I moved in with my girlfriend, or we were together. She was paying about $1,000, I was paying about $1,000 for gym membership. And I thought, why are we paying $2,000 a month, $2,000 a year to go to a gym? Why don't we just quit the gym and take this $2,000 and buy some of this stuff? And that's when I bought the squat rack, the power rack, the first barbell, and I bought literally like 40 kilos of weights. That green bumper I bought, and I bought the red bumper, green and red bumper. They were on sale. And I started there. I started with absolutely bare bones. Like I literally started with nothing. I was fresh off a back injury, so literally started with nothing. And, you know, years down the track, I've learned things, I've made mistakes. But, you know, you live and learn. Yeah, Habib, the research stage. DJ Yankov, what's up, man? Let's get into the ring. DJ Yankov, man, what are you doing, bro? When your program is bullshit and you get no progress, huh? DJ Yankov, I swear to you, man. Dude, do yourself a favor, just jump off the stream. You clearly don't like me, you don't like my channel, you don't like anything about me. Why do you always rock up? Why do you always watch the videos and hate? Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? If you see an idiot, just get out of their way. Just move away. Oh, Habib, definitely. You end up watching everything. Absolutely everything. All right, set number 5, mate. Let's get it. Oh man, these feel good. I feel like I can do way more sets. Yes, Stevan, man. It was a crazy period. That was Anytime Fitness. I'll never forget it. Small gyms as well. It was tiny compared to the gyms that we have now. My goodness. Yeah, you injured your dash. I appreciate you, dude. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. I say to people all the time, you know, my niece, she injured her back recently as well. She's 19. She's been battling it. And I keep saying to her, people have stabbed their backs far worse than your injury, and they've come back to lift world records. Do not give up. Keep at it. Become a student of the game. Learn for yourself. Trial and error. Document. Test, retest. Find your own path. But one thing's for sure is that if you give up, it's never going to get better. Thoughts in the NBA Finals. Hey, man, I saw the Pacers win today. Very happy. Highly good after it. Made me smile, that's for sure, man. I thought it was a great game. We have a proper series on our hands, fellas. I was fearing it was going to be a bloody sweep. But this high pace, high octane, you know, 5 threats on the court with Pacers. Everybody can drive, shoot, dish, defend. That is a load, man. That is unlike anything I've seen. 5 offensive and 5 defensive players on the court. Beautiful. Hold on to your reasons why during difficult days in healthcare to keep you going. How do you hold on to your reasons why during difficult days in? Oh, Habib, it's very simple for me, man. I'm blessed. It always starts with that. I mean, lots of cancer patients. I mean, a lot of people that are in their terminal phases of life, and I think to myself, man, I am lucky. I'm blessed, and I can never shake that feeling away. And that is probably the single most greatest driving force that I have to training, to celebrating life every day. We are lucky, man. And there's very little I can tell you, directly like this to make you feel what I feel, because you haven't seen, experienced to the extent that I have. But all of this stuff hits me hard, and I process it, and at the end of it, I'm always grateful. And because of that, I still rock up here every day. Even if I'm not going to improve for the next year, I'm happy, dude. I am happy, very happy. Everything that God gives me on top of this is just the cherry on top, man. I say a prayer to myself every day, man. You've given me everything, God. 3 kids healthy, wife healthy, I'm healthy. Enough said. You've blessed me more than enough. Everything else that I get in life is an extra. I'm going to do my best to give back, to share everything that I experience, to maybe help another out. Because the overarching feeling is that I'm absolutely blessed. And I'm the lucky one, man. Like literally, I feel like I am the lucky one. And I know a lot of people kind of look down on themselves, I don't have wealth. I mean, look at this. Some people will look at this and be like, this guy's poor, This guy drives a freaking 25-year-old car. This is all true. I do drive a 25-year-old car. A lot of my peers drive brand new cars. I don't. I don't have a brand new house. It's a very old house. But I'm very lucky to live where I live, close to my best friend, literally across the street. I have a friendship with him like many people don't have. Family's healthy, everyone's healthy. The list goes on, man. The list goes on. And once you start to truly see where you stand, like people say, my income is whatever, $100,000 a year I get in Australian dollars, right? Nurses, that's standard nurses pay. Senior, after 15 years of a career in nursing, you get 100K, right? And you think to yourself, that much money puts you in like 1% of the population on Earth. And yet there are many people with much more salaries. Like my salary is $100,000 now. Average houses in this area are like 1.5 million. I mentioned before, like the pricing of housing in Australia is absolutely insane. Absolute dumps that need to be knocked down and rebuilt, unlivable, is like 1,200,000 in this area right now. Everything is going through the roof, and my salary is about $100,000. So that is a 10x on my salary for a house. My parents was like 2x, 3x. Their salary was like whatever, 5K. Their house was 15K back in the freaking 80s and 90s, right? Now it's 10x. It's unlivable. It really is unlivable, but I have a roof on my head. I'm happy, I'm healthy. All those things that I mentioned before come to me, and I'm like, and I've seen people with much, much higher salaries, people driving Porsches around, and I'm not all that convinced that they're happier than me, So that's just my feeling on the matter, John, what's going on, man? You know what, fellas? I should stop for 5 sets, but I'm going to do a couple more sets. Fuck it. I'm going to do 7. It feels good. It feels great. The weight's moving very easily. I probably should have done 200 today, not 180, but I'm going to do another set. It's only 8:30. Kids are asleep. All I got to do now is go to the house, shower, eat, chill a little bit with the wifey, and that's it. So I'm going to do another 2 bloody sets here, mate. man, they feel so good. I'll do one more of those. 7 sets will be plenty. Good to see you, John. Good on you, Habib. Exactly how it should be. Volume is king, Lemon. Absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. Patrick, I am 36 this year. Not very young. Or maybe some would say very young. Depends on the perspective again, huh? Oh. Desire to go for a bench max or heavy single, heavy triple anytime soon. I've got these goals that I have to hit before I move on. So I got to hit 100 for 30, and everything that I'm doing right now is heading towards that. When I hit 100 for 30, I'm going to have maybe a few days chilling, and then I'm going to try 160 on the bench. 160 on the bench, and then I reset, and then I go to 110, probably. Maybe 120, probably not 120. Maybe 120, maybe not. Probably 110. And then I go back down to 3 sets of 20, and then I build from there. Yeah. Have I ever thought about changing career? I have, of course. Everyone does. But, you know, with responsibilities that come along with growing up, growing family, there's very little room for that. You know, when first and foremost, number one role is to make sure the kids are good and the family is provided for. So, you know, my goals come secondary to that. And so me changing career would half my salary probably. And then with that comes moving house, schools, all the rest of it. John, volume is king. What do you think about Mensa Dorian Yates' ethos of low volume, high frequency? Yeah, John, we spent a bit of time talking about this earlier. Yeah, opposing schools of thoughts. Yeah, I think a large part of it depends on who you are as an individual and your personality. If you like to go crazy hard and then disappear for a couple of days, sure, you can do that. But to think that you can go crazy every single day is impossible. So Dorian Yates and, you know, these type of dudes, Mensa, you know, you can't do that often without significant recovery periods. I like to train. I like to be here quite a lot. I like to spend time moving. You know, so I don't like this idea of Mike Mensa saying they train legs once every 14 days. That to me is borderline, you know, sedentary lifestyle. Renato Miletic, pozdrav od Sidneja. Legenda, bro. Appreciate you. You're quite close, Sydney, Australian, man. Good to see you here, man. Thank you. And okay, Ivan finally made it to the live. What's up, man? How are you? One more set of this deadlift, And that is 7 sets of 5. 7 sets of 5 with 180, which means once I hit 7 sets of anything, it's time to move on. So next session, maybe 200. Maybe that's a big jump. I don't know. We'll see. Bigness. I truly believe a peaking phase is needed for bench for safety alone. Especially at 36, the heavy weight can push you quickly to disadvantaged positions. Can't wait to see it though. The new meta-analysis people are mentioning is interesting. Frequency is really good for strength, volume good for both strength and hypertrophy. Yeah, I mean, my meta-analysis is my experience, man. You know, I always go by what I feel, what I've felt. And so, you know, after 10 years of lifting, you kind of have a pretty good suspicion of what's going to work, what isn't going to work. So I look at studies and I look at people talk about studies, but I'll look for them to kind of support my beliefs and my experiences and other people's experiences. The experience of people in this field is far more important than what scientists write about. In other fields like physics and mathematics, complete opposite. You know, how you feel doesn't matter. Physics is a mathematics language. And so, but in this is a loose science. This is a soft science. You know, people dictate the pace. Because there's so many paths to the truth. How can there be one answer when there's so many different methods, so much variation of people getting success? All right, last set, fellas. And then back up. That was a good session, fellas, I must say. Taking the weights off is the hardest bit. Fellas, that is the end of the sesh. Good sesh. Yeah, John, I'm in Adelaide, man. Oh, John, lots happened in the last 1,000 days. Lots going on, man. Yeah, hard to fill you up to speed quickly. And now the endorphins rush in. This is why we love training, boys, man. Like, you feel amazing after it. You sit here in peace, high as shit. Yeah. The sense of fulfillment, accomplishment, you know, a sense of peace because your body's just smashed. We love this. Thank you. Thank you, John. Mario, what's up, man? Now, I don't use any heating cream, but my dad used to use it back in the day. Stink up the whole freaking house. Oh, there you go, Mario. Yeah. I remember using it once or twice during the basketball days, like during the tourneys and stuff, where you're playing 3 games a day. But I haven't in years. No, man, we drink out straight out of the tap. We've got a filter in the house and we drink the water out of there. You've been doing it? Oh, Habib, nice. Oh, Habib, you're a legend, man. You're working out while I'm working out. Love that, man. It's funny how we can all be connected across the world through technology. It's amazing. Well, this is the thing. I don't know. The difference is noticeable when you have a filter in the house. I don't drink normal tap water anymore. I haven't for years. We've got a filter in the house, replaced every year, you know. And the water actually tastes like water. You don't have those weird tastes, those heavy metals floating around. In hindsight, would it be better to squat every other day? No, that question is frequent. Oh, dude. When I hear this question, I just think to myself, you're assuming that I've gone balls to the wall every day. Absolutely not. Think of it like this. I've had days where I've squatted hard once a week and the other 6 are just practice with like 60% weight. That is not going to do you any harm. Trust me. We are not these sensitive little flowers. Your grandfathers, your generations before us worked much harder. We are not this delicate. If you read about some of the Olympic weightlifters and what they do, for instance, Tashiki, he did 5x5 every single day. Just throwing it out there, man. Don't worry about that. Squat every day literally means squat every day. I've had days where I've squatted body weight every day. So don't think I'm doing the Bulgarian dying under the bar every day. It's not like that, dude. No, I just go by feeling. On the days where I was doing singles, Hancock, I was come in, do the bar for a few sets, put on a plate, do that for a set, put on another plate, another plate, another plate. And when things get heavy and out of position and whatever, I stop there. Simple as that. It's just literally auto-regulating in the warm-up. You know how you feel. We're intelligent creatures, man. You know. Obviously, that comes with a bit of time under the bar with experience, but I don't think it should be done by beginners. Absolutely not. But you just go by feel, like everything else in life. We'll go by feel. Fellas, I'm gonna leave you here. It's almost 9 o'clock. I gotta run out of here and shower and get ready for work. Go to work. Appreciate you for hanging out again. Same time tomorrow, I'll be here. Today was a 2-hour session. Amazing. Tomorrow we'll come in, see how I'll pull up after this deadlift with more benching, and we'll take it from there. Everyone, guys, you guys are legends. Thank you for chilling with me. Talking wisdom and bouncing ideas. I've legit had a lot of fun with these lives in recent times, and I'm gonna continue with it. Now the algorithm is getting absolutely destroyed. The channel is plummeting, but I'm having fun, and that's the most important thing for me. I don't really care about the algorithm as much anymore, but this is quality time for me, and screw the algorithm. Let's enjoy each other and do this. So it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Appreciate you, boys. Catch ya. Peace out.